This is about lesson 40 and changing the structure of the table. Now we have the structure of this table is that it has 2 columns in it and 5 rows. That is the structure. That's what holds this table together. And it might be that we need to add some new rows or some new columns to this table. And on page 2-74, it tells you that a row can be inserted in a table by putting the mouse pointer at the left edge of the table and getting this little symbol here. Let's see if we can do this. There we go. It gives you a little bubble with a plus sign in it, and it gives you 2 horizontal lines across the table. It says if you need to add a row beneath the first row, then put that symbol beneath the first row. If you need to add a row between any other rows, then you just move your mouse and let the symbol appear where you want it to be. So if we click right here where this symbol is now, we will get a new row into the table where that symbol was. You can do the same thing with a column. If you need a new column in the middle of the table, or at the end of the table, or at the beginning of the table. It's in there somewhere. You can click that plus sign and you'll get a new column where your symbol appeared. I'm going to take that out there and put it back to our original table. Alright, let's do drill 1 on page 275, 2-75. We're going to insert a row that comes after Ms. Calantoni. Alright, here's Ms. Calantoni's row, and we need to insert a row after that. So I'm going to, this is one way to do it, I'm going to put the little bubble underneath that and click, and there is our new row. Another way to do that is to click in the row that we're locating a new row from, go to the Table Tools Layout tab and click Insert Below because we want the new row to be below where our cursor is blinking. And if I click that, there's the new row. One of the things that you need to be aware of is if you need to add a new row to the end of the table, a simple way to do that is to click in the last cell and just hit the Tab key, and that will give you a new row at the bottom of the table. Alright, so let's go back to drill 1. We're going to add a row under Ms. Calantoni, and we're going to type in the new text, which is Mr. Whoops, and I hit the Enter key by accident and got a taller row, Mr. Frederick Douglass, and he is the chair of the Compliance Committee. And I misspelled compliance, so I need to right click it and choose the correct spelling of compliance. Alright, now in drill 1 we need to also insert a new column between columns A and B. Okay, remember this is column A, this is column B. We need a new column between the two. So if I come up here and the bubble appears, that's one quick way of adding that new column. And this is going to be their phone number extension. So in the first cell, I'm going to type in the word extension, and it's already centered. That's nice. And then the extensions are 5278, press the down arrow, 4902, press the down arrow, 2561, down arrow, 9302, down arrow, 3715. Okay, now we're supposed to center the text in column B. That's these items right here. I can do Control E on my keyboard and that will center those things just like clicking the center button would do. We're going to align center the column headings in row 1. Okay, column headings in row 1, I'm going to do Control E. Now they're centered. Step 7 says apply bold to the column headings. Okay, the column headings are still selected. I'm going to hold down the Control key and the B key for bold on the keyboard and make them bold. And then it says adjust column width in step 8 to fit the contents. Alright, going to select the table, going to the Layout tab, going to Auto Fit and click it, and Auto Fit Contents, and that will adjust the column widths to fit the longest entry in the cell. And now it says in step 8 to center the table horizontally on the page. Alright, click the table move handle, Control E on the keyboard, and now our table is centered horizontally on the page, and we can save it as drill as 40-drill1. One of the things that you can do uh, to create a title on this table is we can insert a row above the column heading row. So let's do that. Let's put our cursor in row 1 and go to the Layout tab and choose Insert Above. Okay, we have a new row here. We can put a title in this row, but we have 3 individual cells here, and our title won't fit in that little bitty square right there in the center of the row. So we're going to create one big cell out of these 3. So with those 3 cells selected, or whichever ones you want to make the bigger cell, in this case it is all 3 of them, you come up here to the Layout tab in the Table Tools group and you click Merge Cells. And when you click Merge Cells, it changes those 3 into one big cell, and then you can type in the title of this table, names, extensions, and positions. And most of the time your titles, the words in the title, not the enter keys above or below it, nothing else except the words in the title, are going to be 14-point font to bring attention to the title. Sometimes you'll have a blank space above the title and a blank space below the title. Just follow the instructions in your exercises. But you can also, excuse me, you could also take out the text and you could split this one big cell into several cells again, even more than there were originally, by going to the Layout tab and split cells, and then tell it how many columns you want in that row. If we wanted 5 cells in that top row, if you'll notice it just says row, there's only one row we're dealing with here. We'll just type in a 5 for the number of cells we want and click OK. And now our row 1 has 5 cells in it. So there are a lot of different ways you can manipulate the structure of a table in Lesson 40. So play with that a little bit and learn how to use the Table Tools tab.